What's going on, guys? We got UFC Fight Night, Ulberg versus Reyes. Predictions breakdown here, guys. Going to be over there in Western Australia. 7 p.m. card Eastern. Let's fly to this real quick here, guys. 13 fights in the card. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button. Also subscribe to this channel. Also check my Patreon account for my Facebook prediction of this. You can also donate to my channel at my PayPal account, which will link will be down below. And also check out Wayne Getchy for my health and wellness, fitness. All the links will be down below, okay? 13 fights, we had a little week off there. We're going to fly into this real quick here, guys. I'm going to spend too long on this card. Overall, like I said, every card, I'm not going to judge it by the cover. You know, like, a lot of these guys, you know, a couple good matchups here. So we're going to just ride through this real fast here, guys, and knock it out accurately, okay? First fight, we got Lukabumi versus Alexia Thainara. I think I pronounced that right. Luma here, Luma's experienced, man. More Muay Thai kind of vibe with her. Very technical, the striking. Doesn't have a lot of finishes though. I believe like one by knockout and one by submission. But her ground game has gotten better, like her takedowns, you know, her defense to not getting taken down. Let me see here. Issue with this fight is that Alexia is gonna have massive height and reach, which most of the girls that Luma fights gonna have massive height and reach over her. Like her last fight here against Nunes, pretty much the same reach and height, you know, that Alexia has. With this fight though, man, with Alexia, like I mentioned, with the height and reach, Alexia's gonna have 3 inch of height, 6 inch of reach. Coming from Contender Series, beat Molly McCann. You know, Molly McCann is, you know, doesn't fight in UFC anymore. She retired. Then about, you know, Alexia, she wants a submission. She got 8 by submission, so she's a finisher. Very explosive woman. Striking is not that great compared to Luma, but the height and reach can play a big advantage. She can get hittable at time, but her takedown, her wrestling is pretty decent. You know, like I said, she looked to wrestle. With this fight here, guys, every woman fight, I'd be very careful with it. I was kind of going for Luma, but when I saw how Luma looked against Estela Nunes, I was like, I don't know, man, because with Alexia, she seems physically strong, very composing, very athletic, you know, very explosive, and bigger female, you know, reach and height. It could be a big factor, and then also she wrestles too, and Luma can get taken down. Luma was getting taken down by Nunes, but then eventually after a while, Luma was reversing it and getting Nunes down. But Alexia's base is a wrestling, man. She will look for the submissions, bro. I was going for Luma, but I changed it. I'm gonna go for Alexia. I'm gonna say Alexia by decision, but I'm not confident, guys. 50-50. Like I said, with women fights, you just never know, dude. It can go either way. It's difficult, you know, to pick a winner here. Like, you know, it's dealing with a girl with a long reach and height, very athletic, explosive, you know, could be the physically strong wrestling base, and she's also durable. You know, Luma gonna have to do a lot more in this fight, man. So I like Alexia though. Alexia by decision, but I'm not confident. Next fight, we got Brando Peričić versus Alicia Ellison. Brandon here, coming to Australia again. This is Australia card. Fighters are over there in Australia, so they could get favored here. City kickboxing guy. A lot of city kickboxing guys are in this card. Like I said, it's a Australia card, so it could be robbers, guys. Like I said all the time, with any other region that you may be in, they usually favor the fighters, right? Depending on if the fight go judges, right? Brando here, you know, it's kind of wild, dude. You know, he loves. Kind of. I'm just reading my notes here, guys. Wild dude. He actually loves to fight, and you could tell that. You know, he will look to knock you out. Can get submitted though. Can get taken down though, and also he will gas out in the fight after first round. It's like a first round finisher guy. He slows down. But his opponent here, what I see from Alexia. Alexia here. He seems okay, you know, has a wrestling base in him, but he would drop the ball and you can touch him up, man. This is a fight where I can see Brando getting a first round finisher, you know, and then he struggles with the range and distancing. So his striking is kind of like just rushing in and throwing overhands. So he struggle with the range, distancing kind of vibe. And I feel like he has a quit in him, you know, like he would give up. I just feel Brando's gonna put it on him, man, and get a finish, KO TKO first round, guys. All right. A lot of these fights here, guys, a lot of these guys are kind of newcomers, so you can't be too confident with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something where, you know, these guys don't go to contender series, nothing like that. You know, it's don't know much about them, so you can't be 100%. And you should never be 100% with this. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is guaranteed. But, you know, I say 50-50 because, like I said, but I say from Alexia, he could get takedowns and Brando can get taken down. But just I feel the durability and, you know, the heart. I just feel like Brando will push more. And I feel like Alexia will give up. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't know. But Brando by KO TKO first round, guys. Next fight, we got Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. This one's a tricky one again, and let's go back to a woman fight, guys. What we see from Luna's experience, man, and you know, a lot of people, you know, you kind of sleep on her, but she is skilled. You know, she will counter strike. You know, she moves around, pick her shots well. She has 3 wins, and she beat Lucy Pondanova, which is a pretty experienced woman. You know, that was in the UFC, came back, and I don't know if she's still in the UFC still. Can get taken down, but she has been working at takedown defense, so it hasn't been looking bad lately. And she can strike, man. This girl, people sleep on her, but she can hit. What I see from Michelle though, from Michelle, coming from American top team, you know, she trained with you know, like Kyla Harris and the rest of them. Michelle, her striking is not that good. So Luana gonna be the better striker. She kind of have her chin up in the air when she's going backwards. Her chin is high up with her hands dropped. 100% submission rate though, so she will freaking jump on your back and submit you. But with Luana, it's kind of hard to get her back. You know, Luana usually end up with her back on her back on the canvas, right? She don't really turtle up and give her back like that. You know what I'm saying? So most of all of her submissions are just rear naked chokes, dude. Striking needs work, in my opinion. She fades as the fight goes on. She fades, chin kind of high up in the air. Like I said, she trained with Kyla Harrison. You know, she have a little wrestling base in her, but wrestling is kind of like she will shoot for takedowns, but sometimes she doesn't get it. It's not consistent, like chain shoot, like aggressive like that. You know, elusive like that. No, man. I feel like the value is on Luana, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, the value is on Luana, man. I believe she was a 145er. Hold on. I believe she was a 145er. She fights at 145, 155. So she's a pretty big woman, dude. You know, she's coming from 145, having fought since 2024. She's going to go down to 135. I haven't watched the weigh-ins yet, the face-offs, so check out the Patreon account for that. Could be some changes, but I'm on a slide with Luana, man. Just experience, and we see this all the time. You know, 6-0. You know, we see it's like a consistent same thing over and over again. Sometimes they may get the win. You know, and she's Australian. You know, she born in Australia, so you know it could be robbery here. It could be a fight where she's just like grinding for takedowns, grinding. And just get a split decision win, man. A woman fight, you know, it's pretty likely. She's in New Zealand, so I mean, you know, exactly, guys. So what I'm trying to say here is that this is a fight where it's definitely 50-50, but I feel the value is going to be on Luana, man. Like I said, we're gonna look at the odds after, but the value is going to be on Luana, dude. And like I said, it's kind of like hometown kind of vibe with Michelle. So I'll be very careful with this one, man. I'm gonna go Luana by decision, but it could be robbery for Michelle by split. Just remember I told you guys that. Just for getting takedowns, guys. But I'm gonna go for Luana though. Next fight we got Colby Thicknesse versus Josiah's Musasa. So Josiah's Musasa. There's some short notice here, but I don't think that one is though. So. Is it? No. For Colby Thicknesse here. Colby Thicknesse took a fight, man, way back. And it was a short notice against Alexandro Topuria. You know, the Topuria brothers, right? He did pretty good, though. You know, he looked good in that. He's well-rounded, you know, for short notice. We'll mix it up. He's durable. But he can be hittable at times, but short notice, so he may come to this fight a little different. What I see from Musasa, though, Musasa gonna have a 5-inch reach, but man, I feel like he needs more work, dude. I feel like he's kind of green, dude. I feel like he needs a lot more work, dude. And there's certain things I see, against Carlos Vera, catch him with a head kick and just submit him, split decision in contender series. I feel like he just needs more work. There's a lot of things with a lot of these guys, like, the organization that they're fighting. A lot of these guys fight in promotions that are not that great. This guy's coming, with most of Hex, which is a decent, organization, over there, Australia, right? So, I mean, a lot of these guys, coming from good organizations, some of them are fighting in like some, like, they're not really fighting nobody. I just feel Colby is a little more, I just feel like he's just more tested, he's more skilled. I feel with Musasa though, he packed power. If he catches you, he could knock you. But I don't think Colby has ever been finished. I'm gonna slide with Colby here, guys. I'm gonna say Colby by decision, but it's a 50-50 though. Again, hometown guy. So be careful with this one too. Well, I mean, I got Colby winning, so. All right, so Colby by decision, guys. Next fight, we got Jim Mullarkey versus Rolando Beñado. Oh, I think I said that right now. Jamie here, man. Jamie been getting knocked out a lot, dude. I believe six times. His last fight against Rufi, Najrat, which these guys are snipers. You know what I'm saying? The pinpoint accurate. They're known to sniper you out. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And a guy like Najrat is very experienced. Moabed Namarov is again sniper guy. He has troubles with guys as sniper. With Rolando is kind of sniperish like that, but he doesn't possess it like that though. He's not really that skilled with it, like how the other guys that Jamie fought, like Rufi and like Nazarat, right? He's not really a sniper like that, but he still possesses it though. And he's a guy that was like 170 and is going down to 155. I just don't. Against Kies Williams, but Kies Williams has a lot of holes still, a split decision. He lost to Kenan Song. Jai Herbert is a pretty decent fighter. Kenan Song is a decent fighter too, but I just feel like Mullarkey is just been there, done that, even though he's been knocked out a couple of times, but I just don't see nothing from Rolando, man. I'm gonna go with Jamie. I'm gonna say Jamie by decision, but zero confidence for the fact that Jamie, it doesn't look durable no more, dude. It doesn't look like he can take a hit. So if Rolando can counter and catch him, which most likely be a counter, it could finish Jamie. So there's a fight where you gotta be very careful with. All right. Next fight we got Andre Petroski versus Cam Watson. And this entire card is all Australian fighters, dude. It's pretty much every fight is the guys go up against an Australian guy, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or around that area. Because this isn't going to be in where? This is going to be in Western Australia, right? Yeah, so. Or in that region. What else I know? Where am I at? Andre Petroski versus Cam Watson. Andre is a dude that he can drop the ball, but he possess wrestling and BJJ, black belt, I believe, and he will look for submissions on you. Will also gas out, but experience, man. This guy's experience. You can't take that away from these guys. A guy like Cam, I believe he had one contender series fight, right? Coming from Eternal MMA, which is the next Australia thing that league. Again, man, he lost to Terrence Finney. Pretty much got grounded out in that fight. What I see from him against the kickboxer guy again, he mixes it up. He's grown. He will look for takedowns and look for submissions too. So the guy's pretty well rounded, but it's just experience, dude. I feel Andre should win this fight, but again, Andre will drop the ball, dude. So this is a guy that with Cam could win. And got an next Australia guy coming to the city kickboxer. So I'm going to go with Andre Petroski and that one. I say Andre Petroski by decision, guys, but I'm not confident. Next fight we got Navajo Stirling versus Ronaldo Bellato. Yeah, Bellato. Sterling here, I guess city kickboxer guy here. He's coming out Yeah, this guy come a long way. He's improved. I was reading my notes here, guys. I have to put notes, man, so I can remember. Because some of these, I mean, I know who Sterling is because I see him fight a lot. A lot of these other guys I'm really not too sure, so I gotta write down notes. You know, this guy come a long way, improving. You know, with every fight, striking base, grown has gotten better. This guy has potential, man. Against his fight against Ivan, he showed that. With Bellato, he mixes it up to kind of wild, dude. You know, chin can be up in the air. It's very, very hittable. Poor fight IQ, you know, from my opinion. No disrespect. I'm just saying it how I see it and how I break it down. Can get hurt by punches. Will look for takedowns, though, and he will look for submission. This guy's pretty well-rounded, dude. But his IQ is just not good, bro. I feel Sterling just can beat him off of IQ alone, dude. So I'm going to go with Sterling. I'm going to say Sterling by KO, TKO, guys, in the second round. All right. Next fighter, we got Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. Tom Nolan here uses more footwork, movement, pick his shots, stay on the outside, keeps it long range. You know, we look for takedowns. But thing about Tom Nolan, though, he's doing all that, but you can counter him, though, and catch him with shots and hurt him and put him out, dude. But I think he's been finished one time. And that's against Nicholas Mutter, which Nicholas Mutter is a very experienced guy. Can Charlie do it? Charlie short notice from what I believe. Charlie can do it. Charlie sit down on his punches, dude. But the difference between this fight, that Tom got better movement, though. Charlie can be heavier in the front, you know, but he will look to dig the body and he will look to counter. You know what I'm saying? Can get flat at times, but, you know, he will throw and he will walk you down and try to finish it, man. So I wouldn't sleep on Charlie Campbell, bro. You know, again, we have a next guy here like Tom. You know, he's like a hometown dude. You know what I mean? So this is a fight where, dude, you gotta be careful. This one to me is even. I believe Campbell can catch Tom, dude, with a punch and just finish him and knock him out. It's a strong possibility. But I'm gonna go with Tom here. I'm gonna say Tom by decision, guys. All right, I'm not confident 50-50. Next fight we got Louis Sutherland versus Justin Tafa. Louis here making again the next guy I don't know nothing about. You know, I did some homework on him though. You know, coming to England here. You know, what I see from him, dude, he seems to pack power, but when he can get it off, he can get it off. Usually in the first round. But as the fight goes on, he's like just running forward and punching, but there's zero power on the punch, dude. And he kind of waits a lot. You know, he will sit back and wait a lot, throw a lot of leg kicks, mix up the punches with the kicks. You know, but he doesn't really do enough though. You know, and he will explode at times, but sometimes when he does explode, it has no power behind it. I think it's a fight perfect for Justin. Hold on, fight's cancelled, dude. Holy crap, dude. Sorry there, guys. Hey, man, it happens, man. So we're down to 12 fights now, right? Hold on there. Fight's cancelled? Oh, man. That's the reason why I always check first, just to make sure. Is it cancelled? Hold on. Do not tougher illness. Alright, so fight's cancelled there, guys. So let's scratch that one out, bro. Let's scratch that one out, man. I usually check first, you know, man, but let's scratch that out, man. So keep moving along, guys. So it happens, man. We're at number 9. We got Jack Matthews versus Neil Magny. Jake Matthews, guys. I'm sorry about that. Jake been looking pretty good, man, and always been. You know, there's a time when it was kind of up and down. It seemed like he never fit into himself too well and didn't grow too well in himself. But no, the guy's pretty good, dude. He can take this fight anywhere and, you know, good on the ground, striking is on point. Jake is a veteran, very experienced as well as Neil Magny. Neil Magny is also a super veteran too. You know, Neil Magny will expose you. You know, those prospects that's actually coming up, he will put a beating on them, you know, you take away the zero from them, you know what I mean? So Neil's a guy you don't want to play with, but man, what I see from Jake just been looking good, dude. And Jake is a veteran. He's not like an upcomer prospect. This guy's a veteran, dude. So I feel he can beat Neil. I must say Jake by submission in the first round, guys. 60% Jake, 40 Neil. All right. I like what I see more from Jake than I do from Neil. Can usually beat those guys, and you know, I mean he beat the Capoeira dude, you know, which is actually a good win for him. But what we see from Elise Zaleski hasn't been looking good lately, though. It's kind of been like fading out. you know. But guys that are like true prospects, like tough guys like Carlos Prates that can strike, and Michael Morales, he kind of have a little problem with them, you know. But he would beat one or two though. But I don't think he beat Jake though. So Jake by submission first round, guys. Next fight, we got Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tarvas. Jack Jenkins, man, heavy leg kicks, dude. This dude got some heavy leg kicks. We mixed up to the head as well. He has boxing is decent. We look for takedowns, but he himself can also get taken down. Against his fight against Gabriel Santos, he went kind of good in the first round because he was going to finish Santos, you know. But as the fight go on, he got his own and got tired and he got submitted. This is a guy in Jack that can get submitted a lot, dude. I believe he's been submitted like three times, so his 3 losses are by submission. He has one by decision, verbal arm injury. So one's a verbal arm injury, so I believe that's when he he like snapped his elbow or something like that. But Ramon, on the other hand, Ramon is moving up to 145 dude, from 135. His fight against David Grant, which Grant put a beating on him, dude. You know, but Grant is no joke. Grant is one of those guys that will also expose you. But Grant still got it though. That's the thing. I feel Neil still got it, but not like how Grant does. Grant could beat prospects, dude. And there's a lot of guys here, Daniel Marcos, that he beat. Most of the split decisions you see, he actually won that. Ramon, you know, is boxing, you know, but he'll be heavy on that front, which is not good against Jack, because Jack's going to tear up the front leg. More boxing on him. I like what I see more from Jack, but I still be careful with this fight though. Jack hometown favorite, but I just feel Jack, you know, is a little more experienced, a little more skilled. He has more tools. You know, Ramon is going to come in and try to box and heavy in the front. He can tear up his legs, dude. So I like Jack KO TKO second round, guys. All right. Next fight here, my boy Jimmy Crute versus Avon Erslan. Jimmy motherfucker Crute, dude. All right, Jimmy in the house, bro. Jimmy Crute in the house. You know, this guy still got it here, you know, here and there. You know, he's been improving. He got a little win over Marcin Prachno. You know, been going draw with Ronaldo Bellato. You know, Alonzo Menfield beat him. You know, this guy, he's had his time. You know, I mean, that's how it goes. All these guys, and you know, sometimes they will drop the ball, they get beaten back to back. You know, they have to make changes. And look, he made some changes, but against Ivan though, I feel Ivan is no joke though, man. I mean, this guy here is very technical, man. His boxing looks pretty good. I feel like he's a better striker than Crute. I feel Crute is very still hittable. But Crute will jump and get the ground on you and try to submit you real quick like he did in his last fight. But I feel everyone will mix it up. We'll also look for submissions, and everyone can get taken down. Well, sorry, Ivan can get taken down, and, you know, and get put in bad situations, right? But what I see from Ivan though, man, Ivan just fight starts standing up. I feel Ivan is just a more technical guy, dude. I mean, grown, he may edge it to Crute, but Crute gonna probably eat a lot of shots, dude. I mean, what I see with Ivan and Sterling, you know, he was putting a beating on Sterling in that first round. Even in the second, the fight was kind of close, man. He was hitting Sterling with some big shots, dude. I think he even cut his eye in that fight. But just Crute is still like, I don't know, man. It's like if you look at the people that he's fighting, he's going to draw with them. A guy like Bellato, you know, he's a draw, but he should have won that fight, you know. He just doesn't. It just, you know, against Marcin Prachno. Marcin Prachno is you know, is a decent guy here and there, you know, but not anything top level, you know. I mean, he's supposed to beat him. I just feel Ivan is just could be a different level, man. Because again, anything is possible, and could win. But I'm going to go Ivan, man. I'm going to say Ivan by KO TKO in the first round, guys. But I'm not confident because Crute could come in and jump his back and submit him. Strong possibility. Armbar him or something. Because Ivan can get taken down. But we see him when he fought Ian Cutabella, he was getting taken down. Ian Cutabella game planning with the takedowns. You know, Ian didn't go in there and just brawl like he usually does. He mixed it up and go for takedowns the rest of them. So if Crute can keep that up, you know, he could win. But Crute usually gasses out though. But he did make changes though. But when he's striking, he's very hittable, dude. Very hittable, man. Kind of flat at the time. Footwork don't really go too well. But I see from Ivan. Ivan moves well, is on point. I'm gonna go Ivan. Like I said, KO TKO first round, guys. But I'm not confident. Main fight in the card here, guys. We got Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. This fight here is kind of tricky, man, because what I see from Carlos Ulberg, he looks good. Moves well, very defensively sound. But this is a 5-round fight, and he never fought 5 rounds before. It may not even go to 5 rounds, so it just all depends. It all depends on how he looks and what he does and who finished the fight first. So it doesn't even have to go to 5 rounds. But look at a guy like Carlos against John Volkanovski. He just didn't look too good against him, man. That was a pretty close fight. It could have went either way. It's a fight where I guess in some people's eyes he should have finished it 1, right? But then that wasn't the case. And again, you have to look back at Kennedy fight. He actually lost to Kennedy. He actually got tired in that 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? It's a 5-round fight. Fighting Dominick Reyes. Now, Dominick Reyes is a guy that hasn't been, he has his little ups and downs, but his ups and downs against John Jones, which that was a questionable fight, dude. Very questionable, and it was 12-0 going in that fight. People say that, that Reyes won that fight. Von Vakovic got knocked out in that fight, but I said this is a Vakovic is like 37, and then Yuri spinning elbow. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Spann. People say, "Oh, Ryan Spann this, Ryan Spann." But Ryan Spann is a skilled dude. Ryan Spann. If Ryan Spann really, lock down and train and be serious, the guy is skilled. Has a lot of submission and he has power. The guy is skilled. The guy's a veteran, dude. A guy like Kennedy, that was 7-1. This is completely different. We shouldn't. Kennedy is not a good look to lose. You know what I'm saying? To lose against Kennedy. You know what I mean? Reyes, he been looking good lately, man. He just been looking good. Finishing his fights, and he's not beating just anybody. He's beating like Nikita, Anthony Smith, who's retired, but Dustin Jacoby. And finishing him in spectacular fashion. By knockouts. The guy's still skilled and he's showing it. He's showing a lot of improvement, man. I don't know, dude. I just feel Reyes is very experienced, dude. 5-round fight. Reyes been 5 rounds already against Jones. I don't know, dude. I like what I see from Carlos. He moves well, very defensively sound, but you're not gonna win fights by just defending. Exactly, man. But again, it's Australia, so what we say about Australia, guys. Exactly, it could be a robbery. And Carlos is big over there. All these guys that's on this card, that's in Australia, they're going to favor them. But if the fight doesn't go, if the fight doesn't go to decision, then obviously, right? But sometimes when it does go to decision, if it's like far to one side, Reyes is just putting a beating on him, you can't deny that. Right? It's hard to deny that the guy, like Carlos getting taken down, getting hit with a lot of shots, getting tired. Reyes probably hurt him in the 4th or 3rd round, probably knock him down. You can't deny that. You can't really rub that. It's just when the fight is like really, really, really close, not much people doing anything really, like Carlos and 1, not much people doing anything, then you can slide to Carlos, right? I like what I see from Reyes, dude. I like what I see from Carlos, but I like the improvement that Reyes has been doing. And yeah, man, I'm going to go Reyes by decision, guys. All right, quick look at the odds here, guys. Here we're working with. Quick look at the odds. See them crazy odds, guys. Crazy odds. So there's 12 fights in the card, guys. Tougher fight fell off. Luana Carolina. Hold on. What do we have here? Give me a second here, guys. Sometimes these fights are all the way up here. Okay, Alexia Thainara and Luma. They got Taira 245. Dude, you must be man. Luma is experienced, guys. Remember that. Luma is experienced. Alexia friggin' beat we should beat Molly McCann, dude. Which Molly McCann is retired, dude. Luma is experienced. Luma can strike. But again, it's reach and height, like what I said, 245. When it comes to women fight, women like 245, I would say like Amanda Nunes and Chichenko. These women, Yeah, I could see the odds being high, but until an Alexia, nah, dude. This is an even fight in my book. All right, be very careful. Brando and Alexia. Brando 215, 240. I guess so. Like I said, this fight here, you don't know what to expect. But I like Brando. Let's see. If I introduce real fast, see what I quote here, guys. Luna and Michelle. Luna 240, 250. Holy crap, dude. Oh, man. Again, woman fight again. It's always upsets, dude. Especially with a woman fight. Always go the other direction, man. I disagree with that. I feel Michelle, she has potential, but her striking is not there yet, dude. So she's kind of one-dimensional, bro. Luna can strike, and Luna ground game has improved as far as the ground defense. And Michelle doesn't really chain wrestle like that. She don't shoot consistently like that. Sometimes she struggles and she get tired after a while. 240? Hell no. Like I said, I got Luna winning, but it is what it is, though. Pick your poison, man. Colby Thicknesse and Musaso. They got Musaso as favorite. And the guy, the guy has potential, but I just feel like he's still kind of greenish, man. I feel Thicknesse has the ability to pull off a win. I think I have him by decision. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm liking Thicknesse. Remember, guys, the host always wins, dude. The dogs always win, bro. Especially on a card like this, when the odds are kind of the odds are kind of close in some of the fights, and some of them are kind of crazy. Exactly. Jamie Mullarkey and Rolando. Rolando's a little slight underdog, kind of even fight. I don't disagree because Jamie's very hittable, and Rolando can sniper him, but he doesn't do it as well. So this fight is cancelled. Andre and Cam Ratson. Andre at 185. Yeah, he should be at 185, 174. Yeah, I feel like he's more experienced, but again, Andre would drop the ball. That's all I'm saying right there. And Cam is Australian, so be careful. Navajo Stirling and Ronaldo. I feel Navajo Stirling should win this fight just straight off IQ, dude. I feel Bellator doesn't have the best fight IQ at all, dude. And it's not a disrespect. Charlie Campbell and Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan at 158, 157. This fight to me is even. There's just something there just in my mind is like, see Charlie Campbell just catching him with a punch and hurting him, dude. That's just, Tom can get caught, and he gets caught a lot. I had to see that vision in my head. So this is an even fight. Meaning that if you're parlaying or whatever you're doing it for fun, with parlaying, good idea to put some Charlie in there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Just like Andre and Cam, because Cam can win. Alright, let's see here. Toffa and, that fight is cancelled, like we said. Jack Matthews, I keep saying Jack. Jake Matthews and Neil. Jake is 400 or something, 500. I actually don't disagree with that. The odds are high, but I don't disagree with that. It's high for a good reason, though. The guy is a veteran, he's skilled, he proves it over and over again. And Neil Magny is also a veteran skilled, but the way O'Neal fight, it fits right into Jake to get a submission in him, from my opinion. Even a possible knockout. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. Jack Jenkins and Ramon Tavares. Jack Jenkins at 200 and 300 or something. From his last performance, Jack can gas out, can get taken down, but Ramon may not go for takedowns too much. It's going to be more a boxing match, so it should favor Jack. Reason why Jack lost his last fight because his opponent there, I forgot his name, he was mixing it up with takedowns and grappling. Gabriel Santos was pushing takedowns, and that's once you start mixing it up and pushing takedowns or striking, it takes a gas tank, dude. It zaps you. Legs get tired. It's just the pace of the fight. Push at a high pace like that with takedowns and submissions plays a big role in your condition and your cardio. Ramon gonna want to box, and Jenkins is gonna want to throw some heavy leg kicks on his legs because he's gonna be planted. Ramon won't want to box. So Jack should win just from off of that, but I still be careful. Evan and Jimmy Crute 200 or something. Nah, man. Jimmy Crute shows that even though he came back, he still shows like there's still some work need to be done. He's not all there still. These guys, he's a little better, but still not there to be 200, man. I guess a guy like Ivan. Ivan is skilled, dude. Ivan is a very technical guy that can strike. His ground is not bad, can get taken down. But we see from Jimmy Crute, even from his older fights, he can get caught, can get hurt. The stints happen, bro. Gets tired, get caught with a punch. You know, can get knocked out. All these things can happen. They shouldn't be on 200. This fight is an even fight, especially how Jimmy been looking, going to a draw against Bellato, just making it. Nah, dude, nah, man, be careful with this one. I like Ivan, just off of just technicality and skill wise, dude. Carlos Ulberg 200 and something against Dominick Reyes. I disagree with that. Dominick Reyes is a veteran, dude. He fought a lot of tough top guys and looked good against them. Lost to some, you know what I mean? But that's part of the game. You know, like I said, dogs, the house always wins, bro. Unless Carlos finish Reyes in some kind of fashion, or not even, but yeah, Carlos, you know, finish him, or I guess it goes to decision and it's like really, really close. I mean, it's like Carlos a split, but it's a 5-round fight. We don't see Carlos in no 5-round fight. You know, he got tired against Kennedy in the second round, early in his fights. But you know, look at a guy like Reyes, who's very experienced, dude. You know, I mean, Reyes is losing to top tough guys. Carlos losing to Kennedy 7-1 when Kennedy was 7-1, dude. Reyes is losing to like supposedly Jones, which I felt he beat Jones. You know, and losing to Ryan Spann, you know, but Ryan Spann is an experienced guy, he's a veteran guy. You know what I mean? Losing to Juan Vakovic, you know, when Vakovic was 37. You know, age a number, but you know what I'm saying? Carlos didn't look good at the end of Vaughn, but you can't look at the fights like that too much. Like I said, there's an MMA math thing that would jack you up. But you know, you never want to do it like that because it will mess you up. But I like Reyes. Like I said, the house always wins, guys. And I see the change in Reyes more than I see in Crute. It's like Crute, there's slight, tiny change, tiny, very, very tiny. With Reyes, is like a huge, massive change, massive, like night and day. Crute is like, I still see the same thing he's doing. He hasn't really fixed a lot of things, especially with the striking. The only thing I see him fix is probably he's more durable. He can eat more shots and will keep coming forward. That's the only thing I see. Reyes changed up a lot of things mentally also. Yep, which triggers the physical. So I go Reyes. I say Reyes by decision, guys. It's just the reason why I say decision because Carlos is very, you know, he's very defensively sound. You know, it's not easy to hit him, but once you start putting that pace on him, and he goes third, then into fourth, it's a whole different game, dude. Carlos has never fought a 5-round fight. I mean, I could be wrong about that. If I am, just leave it in the comments. But from what I've researched, I don't see him fight a straight 5-round. Reyes did. The fight may not even go 5 rounds, so there may not be no reason for that, right? But that's it right there, guys. That's my odd breakdowns. One level to everybody. And any positive thoughts that I want to leave with you guys? How can I say, man? Let me see. Let me see. Let me slow it down a little bit. Go into the memory bank. Sometimes no answer is the best answer. So no reply, you know, no response is sometimes the best answer. It's not all the times you need to respond to somebody, you know what I'm saying, or explain yourself, you know, because sometimes people will set you up like that. You know, they will pick at you and say certain things to get a response out of you. And once you get a response, they're like, yes, no, we can take it there, take it there, take it there, take it anywhere. So remember that love is the answer. So for me, I always say, no problem. And I give them the prayer pose. That's it. That's all you're getting from me, baby. That's all you're going to get from me. Depends on the situation that I'm in. When I know that the person is being very cheeky, being very conniving, very manipulating, I don't speak. I don't respond to nothing. Keep my mouth shut. I let them run them out. And if there's anything I say, it's no problem. And have a good day. That's it. You can run your mouth all you want. No problem, man. Just as long as, they don't rush at me and punch at me and try to put, like physically harm on me, then we're cool, because that's self-defense, and I have a right to defend myself, if somebody's attacking me. Physically, also mentally, also which trigger the physical. But my mental is not to start a war. My mental is based on peace, on love, on harmony, on forgiveness, on letting go. I'm not out there to throw a first punch and then kick somebody in the head and tell them why they shouldn't do that. And I was here first, and this is mine, and man, this is mine. I own this. You can't tell me that. No. I'm not into the argument. I'm not into the bullshit. I'm into actually silence. It's quiet. That's why I don't hang around with a lot of people. I kind of stick to myself a lot. I'm not into the whole gibbering and talking trash and try to put somebody down, try to disrespect somebody else, just try to build yourself up to make yourself feel better. You know what I'm saying? We know those kind of games, right? So I like my quiet space, my silence. I like my place with no name. Just by myself, dude. Because a lot of people are not there. They're not there to actually help you out and to see you, succeed in what you may be working on. They're actually there to actually give you a hard time and tear you down. Not everybody, though. But you will know the ones that are trying to tear you down, though, when they're very negative, when they come around you, and they're trying to always find something to say, even if you're trying to take it from the past. Hey, man, you remember when 2012, or you remember when 2009? I'm like thinking, like what? No problem, man. Have a good day. That's it. And sometimes I just don't respond. Delete. Keep focusing on what you're focusing on. So keep your focus on what you're focusing on. Everybody else around you. A lot of people are struggling with mental because they can't figure it out and they don't have the formula. So when you don't have the formula, you can't figure it out. It's tearing you up inside, but you just don't know how to deal with it. So you want to find anything you can find to tear somebody else down, because that's the only way a lot of people can build themselves up, is by putting harm or disrespect or bullying somebody else just to boost their confidence, which is sickening, right? So we don't play those games. We play the silent game. We play the games where if I see that you're trying to disrespect me, you're trying to put me down in any way, I still show love, but I'm not going to be around you, and that's it. All right. So that's pretty much the positive notes I want to give you, the positive vibes I want to share with you guys there. So you guys can probably try that out. It's always good to just be silent. Just don't give them nothing. Don't give them any ammunition. Don't give them any reason, to say this and this. Because if you don't say nothing, then there's nothing. If you don't give them no response, then there's nothing. Up to now they're gonna sit there and like, how come you're not responding? No problem. Have a good day. Man, you're trying to disrespect me. You're trying to not pay me attention. Have a good day. That's it. But make sure you don't take your eye off of them, though. Just in case, man. We're dealing with a lot of people out there that are pretty much have, like they're in the high horse, big egos. So you just never know what they could do or what they will do. Understand? So, but that's it right there, guys. That's a positive formula, positive notes I'm throwing at you. And one love out to everybody. Guys, keep on kicking. And us.